Alright, hello everybody, and I am back for another video, or well, another bi-weekly reader is really what it is. And this was a great week. Honestly, probably one of the best reading weeks I've had in a very, very long time. I've been consistent with the 100 pages a day, and that makes me so happy because last year was a struggle. I really did not make a lot of progress last year, and well, I'll get back to that in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about the books that I read because I have some absolute bangers. So, the first of them is The Hidden City. And The Hidden City was a book I got recommended, or well, I was told was great on Twitter. So I was like, why not give it a shot, you know? And I kind of just read it on the side here and there in November, and then I realized, oh my god, this is amazing. And so I went ahead and I got the physical copy. Actually, I think I already had the physical copy, but then I got like multiple books in the series. I got book 2, book 3, books 4 and 5 in an omnibus, and oh my god, I'm so in love with this book. And there was so much to talk about in terms of what was so good about this book, but what I can say is this is one of those books so specially made for those readers who love Robin Hobb, who love that kind of character focused like movement in a story. The one where plot is good, and let me be clear, the plot in this book exists. It's just more like setup for future books, and I can accept that. But the characters are where it stands out. So if you don't like the characters here, I don't know, it's probably not worth your time. But man, the characters are just so phenomenal and amazing that I'm just in awe of every last one of them. They are gorgeously written. I just I mean, I was floored, really. I have no other words than I was floored by this book. It was just such a phenomenal experience that I loved to pieces. The world was gorgeously painted. Like, it's one of those worlds where it has kind of a dull shell, but once you start getting into it a little bit more, it has this genuinely beautiful mythical feel. and and then of course the characters, they just pull everything, their dynamics, this father-daughter relationship, and this orphaned girl's like experiences with death, her grieving, how a child deals with trauma, and just the themes of strength, inner strength, this coming of age notion that I just adored to bits. This was by far the best coming of age story I have ever read, in my opinion. I mean, again, floored. And I just I loved Jewel, who is the girl who we follow throughout the book, so very much. Like, she is just such a gem. She is such a sweet little girl, and such a great representation of these smaller concepts too. That idea of, I'm a kid, I want to grow up so I can go ahead and do the things I want to do, so I can go ahead and be the person I want to be, not realizing that the part of childhood that's so important is the being of a child, is to be a child. That's so important, to go through those motions, to go through those elements as a kid is what's so important about childhood. And then the fact that she's such a great, intelligent character. Like, a lot of the time, I feel like we see intelligent children tend to be written as adults in the end. And I've always never been a big fan of that, but I feel like here, she's definitely a kid. She lacks the experience with life that an adult has. and it's just so amazing. I'm in awe of Michelle West's ability to do what she does in this series, and I cannot wait to continue. So if you want to hear a little bit more about what I have to say on this series, I'll leave my Goodreads review for it and my video review for it in the description. That is how much I love this book. You've probably never heard me say anything like that, but if this just entices you a little bit more, I feel like my Goodreads review especially was enough to give you as much as you want to know and tell you whether or not you should buy this book. And I cannot implore enough how much you should read this book. And with Hidden City out of the way, I also read The Walled City. And The Walled City was another amazing installment in Triumphant Revelations. This was easily my second favorite of the series. I wouldn't call it my favorite. Sordanian was just too phenomenal. I mean, as much as I love the rest of the series, and it is phenomenal, I do have to say Sordanian was just so special in some of the things that it did. But Walled City was just amazing. It is one of the best penultimate books I've ever read, and especially with one character here, Aubrey. You'll know who that is when you read the series, if you read the series. Oh, she is such a delightful character, one of my favorites, and I cannot wait to see where she goes in the final book. I cannot wait to see where this whole cast goes with this final book, because I don't know how we're gonna end it in one book. I have confidence that Real Lord will top it all off very well, and it's just going to be absolutely amazing. So that's about all I have for Walled City, other than it was outstanding. The world building took another step. The ending, oh my god, what an ending. It's that ending. Well done. Well done is what it was. And it just makes me very excited for the next book. I just don't know. I don't know how to talk about it spoiler free, so I won't try. Now, as for what I am currently reading, a whole honker. Yes, I am reading the 1,000-page behemoth that is Of Empires and Dust, alongside Chance Dillon and Jake from Nerd Level Rising, both of who are just absolutely amazing people, wonderful people to just know on the platform, wonderful friends, and I mean, I'm so excited to do another buddy read with them. We haven't done a buddy read in a while, and this one, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. I'm about to reach the halfway point. Like, I'm gonna finish this and then probably keep reading until I reach the halfway point tonight. And so far, it's really good. If there's any nitpick, it's the font size. This font size it's killing me. I mean, man, I need glasses for a reason, but this is, and it's not that small. No, it's small, but it's not small enough to be a hindrance, but it's small enough to bother me, if that makes sense. It's not actually making the experience worse. It's just annoying sometimes, because I don't know, I struggle. I struggle with small fonts. It's why I can't do mass market paperbacks. I hate mass market paperbacks. The font is too small. I don't think that the font's bad, but it annoys me. And it's honestly, I thought it was the same font sizes of War and Ruin, but then I went back and I looked at the of War and Ruin font size, and I was very shocked. It's actually much smaller. And in fact, the font size is even smaller than what's in the Stormlight archive. But that's probably my only nitpick. But the actual story is just so immersive, so amazing. I'm having such a good time with the story. Getting to see Kaylin and this entire cast again, Brother Arden, uh, Farda, Wrist, Dan, I didn't realize how fucking funny Ryan Cahill could be. And he's really funny, honestly. I love Dan. Dan makes me chuckle. I really mean that, by the way. He has such a charm to him, and just the whole cast has such a wondrous charm, and I just missed the world of Etheria so much that this is such a pleasant experience. Because I've been away from this world for like. Last time I read of War and Ruin was back in May of 24, so like a year and a half, I want to say. Yeah, about a year and a half, a year and 8 months. Man, I missed these characters dearly. And so, getting to come back, experience these people. And by the way, I was supposed to read the story so far segment, but it was so long. I finished The Walled City, and I started reading the story so far, which is like a recap of everything else that's happened, just to tell me what's important and what I need to remember. I got to a point where I was like, I can't. I just want to start the book. I just want to start a Vampires and Dust. I want to read the book. And so I just put it down and I said, I'll figure it out. And honestly, it went shockingly well. It should not have gone as well as it has, but like I'm remembering things, and Cahill does enough, like he sprinkles enough small moments where it's like reminding me of previous events that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that happened in of War and Ruin. I remember that happened in Of Darkness and Light, and it's just enough to where I'm like, okay, yeah, I recall this happening. To the point where I didn't have to read the story so far. I'm just stubborn, okay? I did not want to read a 10,000 word. It's probably a lot longer than that. Like, it was essentially a short story that was just recapping the whole thing, and it was bothering me so much I could not stand it. I can't do that. If it was like a page, I could do it. It was probably like 10 pages worth, and I wouldn't be able to do it. I hate that kind of thing. I hate reading recaps. I just want to read the story, you know? There's a certain point where it's like, let me read the book. Let me read the book. I'd rather just be thrown into the middle of things and try to remember everything than have to read about the books that I've already read. Just, I'd rather reread the whole book, okay? I mean, I'm sure everybody would be like, I'd rather reread the whole book too, but I don't have that opportunity, but I'm just going to be stubborn because I feel like it. Anyways, this is absolutely phenomenal so far, and I cannot wait to keep going with Of Empires and Dust, because this cast is very special to me. This story is very special to me. I've stuck around with it since I was early 2024. I started Of Blood and Fire and started the series, and it was such a magical, wonderful story. And it just holds a place in my heart that I can't let it go for. I truly, dearly love this series. And I'm so sad that I pushed this book off for so long, but it's it's like it's my only taste of Etheria for another 2 years, because the next book's supposed to come out in 2028. And I'm like, dang it, I don't want to do that. Anyways, that's it for Of War and Ruin, or Of War and Ruin, Of Empires and Dust. Now, what will I read after Of Empires and Dust? After that, I'm gonna go ahead and finish The Silver Crystal. So, I know I talked about this before, but last year was a rough one in terms of my reading. I mean, I was very happy last year. Last year was an amazing, yes, it was an amazing year, but even so, my reading was not too good last year. And I think it was around the time Silver Crystal released, or no, the time I was supposed to read Silver Crystal was when my reading just fell off a cliff. I don't know if it was just because I wasn't reading enough books that were hooking my attention. I don't know if it was just because I got so busy in life, which is true, by the way. I did get very busy. But I just, this book, which I promised Ryan Lands I would read long time ago, back in April of last year, just fell to the wayside because I wanted a book that was going to be gripping enough. Like, I needed a 5-star book to launch me back into a full reading thing after a reading slump. And it bothered me that I was still in a reading slump at the time. But this was a very interesting book, and I really, really want to give it the chance that it deserves. So I want to finish it up, which will probably take me about 2 days. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for Silver Crystal. I'm very excited to finish this book, see what Ryan Lands cooked up, especially since he's been so very generous with me and my garbage, and he's even given me a revised version that I'm very, very excited to read and be able to just give feedback on. I want to give him the feedback he deserves, that he's asked for, and I should have given to him so long ago. But I'm getting there, so we're gonna get there. I'm a man of my word. I have to be. But after Silver Crystal, I'm going to be reading a book that I've been excited for so very long. I've been hyping up and been hyped up for, and that is The Drowned Kingdom. I know Jake has told me that, or Jake said that this is a really good book. I've heard so many great things about this. I actually want to read that review that Zachary Shea has for The Drowned Kingdom. Honestly, I'd say that review, just seeing that review in my feed, was probably what launched the notion that I could read this book next. I like, on a whim, I saw that review and I thought to myself, you know what? How long is A Drowned Kingdom? So I went over to my little shelf over here and I looked. How long is A Drowned Kingdom? I looked for the last page that had actual words on it, and I saw it was about 400 pages. I thought it was like 600 pages. So I was probably just on crack, which is fine. But then I was like, you know what? This is 400 pages. Let me go ahead and start it. Let me go ahead and read Drowned Kingdom. I've been wanting to read this book for so long. I've been saying I'm going to read it for months and months and months. Let me just do it, okay? And now I've locked it in. I've said I'm going to do it, and I'm very excited because I love the premise, okay? I just think this is such an interesting book, and I always love to support indie authors. And so, actually, you know what's funny? Oh, wow! You know what? I just want to think, this just clicked. So, Walled City is an indie book. Silver Crystal is an indie book. Of Empires and Dust is an indie book. It is indie published, for now. And then, Drowned Kingdom is an indie book. So, that is back to back to back to back indie books for like a month. That's awesome. Honestly, I really like that. That's really cool. But this is a book I know little to nothing about, other than a couple things. Number one, P.L. Stewart is amazing. He is such a wonderful person. He comes into my comments. He talks to me. He's just like, you see him online, and he's so awesome, you know? And that's what's so cool about BookTube. You get to see these awesome people, and he's one of them. He's one of those awesome people. He's one of those wonderful, delightful, amazing people. And just, it gets you so excited, you know, to read the books of some of these people on BookTube. And it's just so wonderful, you know. It gets me so excited. It's why I'm on BookTube in the first place, to talk to these people, to think about what they've been doing, what's going on in their heads, what are the stories they have to tell, what are the stories that they're experiencing, how are they experiencing it, and what are their interpretations of it. I love it so much. I truly do love it. And it just makes me so excited. And I'm just so excited for A Drowned Kingdom, especially after all the hype. I've hyped it up in my own head. Other people have hyped it up for me, and I think it's going to be a great story. And so, after A Drowned Kingdom, yes, there's still more, because of Empires in Dust, I should be finishing next Monday. Silver Crystal should take me 2 days, so that's Wednesday. And then this should take me 4 days. So, what? It's going to be the 1st of March when I'm done with A Drowned Kingdom. And then I'll probably start City of Night. So, my goal for the Assalian Saga, this is the sequel to Hidden City, by the way. My goal for this series is to read 1 book a month and just go from there. So, this is book 2 in the House War saga and the sequel to Hidden City. I was just kind of worried that I unplugged my microphone. I've done that before. It was so annoying. Oh my god, I was so angry. When I unplugged my microphone that one time. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but oh, I was so annoyed. I was so bothered. But this one, I've heard that this is even a step up from Hidden City, and Hidden City was a truly phenomenal novel. Like, and I'm sold, after all. I'm just completely sold. I will be reading book 2. I will be finishing this series. That's it. Book 1 was good enough, was great enough, to where I just said, we're finishing it off. We are going all the way. From beginning to end, we will see the whole series through. And that's about all I have to say, because, I mean, City of Night, I'm very excited to see where Wrath and Jewel go. I just don't know where it's going to go. That's the thing. Because book 1, as I said before, it doesn't have much plot. It's not a very plot-focused book. And even though it's an amazing book, I don't really know where we're going to go here. And that's exciting, honestly. I really like not knowing where a story is going. Jenny Wirtz was one of those authors where she just kind of... I was in the ride, you know? When I read those books, it was like, okay. I'm just buckling up for the ride. I can't think about where this story is going because I have no idea. Anyways, that is City of Night. And then I want to talk about my book haul. So, that is, first among my book haul is Yona of the Dawn. I actually just got this one today. I got home, or actually, I left from the gym, actually. I finished my workout, and one of my friends says, you know what, I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble. And I said, oh, really? He said, I'm going to go buy Bocchi the Rock. I said, awesome. You know what? If you're going to Barnes & Noble, I'll go to Barnes & Noble. So I went to Barnes & Noble, and I got Yona of the Dawn, and I didn't get both of these. I got Soul Eater Perfect Edition, Volume 14. So now I have Volume 13 and 14. So that is a very exciting prospect. I'm going to go ahead and start reading these two after I finish this volume of Yona. And finally be caught up to Yona of the Dawn again. Because I think we're 2 volumes away from being done with Yona of the Dawn. It's so sad, but this is such a beautiful series. I'm so very excited to keep reading it. Especially since I'd probably put it in my top 3 manga. That's how much I love it. And then my other book is Oracle, which is, I believe, in the reading order for the Assalian Saga, it's like book 8, 6, then 7, 8, and then plus the 3 House War books. It's Sacred Hunt, plus the 6 Sun Sword books, and the first 3 House War books, so that's 3, 5, plus 6, 11. This is, I want to say, book 13 or 14 in the reading of the Assalian Saga, or for House War specifically, I'm pretty sure it's book 5, something like that. But, I mean, this is a gorgeous cover. In my opinion, this may be one of my favorite covers of all time. It's in the running. I don't know. It has one of those, that old schooly classical charm to it. It has that gorgeous blue in the background. It's just stunning. This is my kind of cover, you know. It has enough classy, it has enough landscape, it has enough blue, and that's just, it's always going to get me. It's always going to make me love it. And yeah, no, I love this cover so much. Anyways, I think that's about it. I'm going to have a review for both Godspear and Second Stone out probably Friday. And that's about what I have for this week. Tell me, have you read any of these books? Are you planning to read any of these books? What did you guys read for the past 2 weeks? I want to know. Please tell me. I'm so excited to talk to you guys in the comments. It's going to be wonderful. Anyways, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you all next time.